You're mute everybody, and we're going to work on D major in 2 octaves. No, sorry, in an octave and a half. We can't do 2 octaves yet. And we'll get that nice and strong, and then we'll work on the Earl. Okay, D major in an octave and a half.
Your sound needs.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So D major in an octave and a half. Ready? D. Okay, don't forget about the notes on the G string. C sharp, B, and A. Now mine was pretty good. Let's do the arpeggio, starting on low A. Ready? Go. Okay, mine was really good. I was happy with that. Okay, so now shall we try it again? Let's just do it again right away. Scale and arpeggio. Ready, go. Arpeggio. Okay, how we feeling? Getting warm? In the key of D? I need a bit of rosin. Okay, so we'll try her a little faster. If that felt good, we'll try it a little faster and see if it still stays in. And then we'll probably do that again. Okay, that should do it. A little faster, so kind of like this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, go. Ooh, mine was good. How's everybody feeling? Still good? Okay, let's do it again. No, not as good. Okay, let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, go. Yeah, all right. Excellent. Let's play the Earl. And it's a kind of a neat setup for the set. The Earl of Dalhousie and then 3 tunes named after women. That's going to be a fun trip to Scotland for that guy. Unless they're all women that don't like him. Then it's not going to be a fun trip at all. Which is probably more likely because he sounds English. Okay, let's see. How fast should we go? It's not a fast tune. Think we can handle that? Let's do it. And we're going to do it twice. 1, 2, 3. I just gotta let Brittany in. Hold on 1 sec. There's Brittany. We'll try it again. Hey Brittany, we're just working on the Earl of Dalhousie's happy return to Scotland. Anyway, let's go again, guys. 1, 2, 3. Again. Gotta end with a D there, man. Can't leave it hanging. Okay, how did everybody do with the Earl? Was it okay? Not too problematic? Oh, that's great. Excellent. How about you, Heather? Run into any problems? Yes?
Yeah, it's funny, it's as if I'd never played it before.
Oh,
The
no.
second time through, it got away from me. And
Oh,
then I'm really glad you went through a third time because it's like, okay, get back on the train and keep going. It was really weird, as if
oh.
I've never played it before. It
That
was
does happen from time to time, you know? Just can't do it or whatever. What I remember one morning when we used to wake up at 6 o'clock to practice as a family band, and for the longest time I was trying to play my fiddle like this, like I remember it was about 10 or something like that. What's going on? So tired, you know. 6 in the morning playing the fiddle for God's sake.
then go feed the chickens.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Okay, everybody else all right? I wouldn't mind trying it a couple more times. Just play it tiny bit faster than that. The tiniest bit faster. It would probably be like. You want to try it that fast? I think we could probably do it. Okay. Here we go. Make sure you're holding on to the right end of the fiddle. 1, 2, 3. Feeling good? Excellent. Okay, well, we'll keep working on that now. If you want to make it more interesting and do a few things with it, there's, of course, double stops. And in the key of D, it's very easy to do with this tune. That all works. See, like you wouldn't have to do it all, but it all, you can play that whole passage on 2 strings. I always do that. You see that? So instead of going, I go. See that? I call it the lazy bow. The bow doesn't really want to get off of that string that it's on. And then, let me see what else. So it's that's nice to do at the end there. And then the second part. See, this is all, you can do all this on 2 strings if you wanted. See, that's all just kind of making use of being on 2 strings, whether it's the A and the E or the D and the A, here and there. So that's just if you get bored and you want to make it more interesting. There's also grace notes and stuff like that, but I'll let that come to you. Whatever you would like to achieve, please tell me and I will help you do it. I almost every time I go from 1 to open, I play a grace note. See that? So, see that? Pretty well every time. See that? Very, very accessible to do that and get into the habit of it as well. Okay? Now, would you like to try it one more time with having a crack at some of that stuff? Or sure, why not? Let's do it. We'll do it twice, because if you don't get it with the first one, you might get it with the second barrel. All right, one more Earl. 1, 2, 3. Anybody manage to do any stuff? Yeah? 2 things? Awesome. Any questions or observations or problems with the Earl? Or complaints? No? I don't know if he has anything to do with Dalhousie University. I bet you he does. Maybe it's the same guy. I don't really know the deal with Dalhousie. If he was a good guy, he probably wasn't a good guy. That's the problem. Okay, now let's see. So we're going to work on Drowsy Maggie and the Silver Spear. Brittany, have you ever played those 2 tunes before?
I have not, and I spent the week sort of practicing these 3 that we did last week, so I didn't get to this one.
What else did we do last week?
Last week we did this one that we just did, Hawk Hey Johnny Lad, and then
Yep.
Jenny something.
Jenny Dang the Weaver.
Yes, that one.
Cool. Okay, well we'll practice those too. But let's say these are great. These are great tunes. They're very popular tunes, and you got access to them, right? Good. Okay. So let's take a look here. Now, you know, it's funny. I was working with somebody who's getting pretty fast with his playing, which is really great. And we were working on Drowsy Maggie because we were working on the bowing, getting all the ups in there, and looking at the shape of your arm when you do that. So. See that? Really, really effective way to do it. And now that's not what we're doing. We're doing down, up, up, which is also a very effective way to do it. But the way that I was showing you there is a little bit more advanced. And it's kind of like it's an Irish style of bowing where they actually start up. It's kind of neat. Which means that those quarter notes are on and up. But anyway, so yeah, so it's a really, really good set to practice. Ooh, kids are fighting. They're supposed to be doing chores. I figured they would. I have to let them battle it out and see who's left at the end. Okay, so now, since Brittany has not done this yet, and it's not that hard, let's just go down in tempo and do it a couple of times nice and slow, okay? Okay, so let's see, kind of like this. All right, let's give that a go. This cat is cracking me up. 1, 2, 3, go. like they were cheerfully doing that. Did you have any problems, Brittany?
No, and actually, I think I did play this before, like in high school many years ago.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, I think I have a slightly different version somewhere, but
That doesn't surprise me either.
yeah, it was good.
Cool. Okay, that's great. So that means we can speed her up a little bit. Are these your markings here, Lena? This D-U-U-U-D-U-D-U. Yeah. Did I ever tell you the sign for down bow and up bow? Okay. Up bow is V for victory. Okay, and down bow is a staple. It looks like a staple, kind of like that. Yeah. And I found out why. The down bow, you start at the frog, and so that's why it's the square. And the up bow, you start at the tip, and that's why it's the triangle. I never knew that. A violinist told me that about a year ago. I never knew that in my life. I always wondered why the staple. You know? I just thought, why didn't they just use arrows? But anyway, so, and also I love your little roll you got in there. It's like a little arrow that says roll. Are you trying to do a roll there?
I have in the past, because that's the spot that you had us practicing one.
Yeah.
But it's been a while since I've done this tune, and so I wasn't putting them in that time. I'm just trying to keep it simple, but
Get it back.
I was at one point.
Okay. Well, we'll see if we can make a goal of it. See if we can stick it in there like once at
Yeah.
some point tonight. And when you do, let me know how it went. Okay? How it rolled. Okay, cool. Let's do her a little bit faster. Tiny bit faster. Okay? Hold on to your hats. 1, 2, 3, go! Faster speed go okay?
Yeah, I have a question.
Yes.
To confirm, you said I see you start on an up bow.
You can.
Oh, you can. It's okay. Because I think I wasn't quite getting the bowing, but I guess you just do it feels comfortable.
Let me show you the two ways. Well, bowing is kind of important in this tune because if you're going backwards, it makes it a lot more awkward to get through.
Yeah.
So, and it's the long notes that screw you up. So that's where you do an up bow after the long notes. I call that an up. Okay? And that's in any reel. It's a rule of thumb. Like if you play a long note or a cut, you know, a digita, then it interrupts your bowing pattern and you got to correct it by going up, and now you're back to this. See that? Now that's one way to do it. The way that I was talking about is doing the quarter notes on an up bow. So check out what that looks like. that, it's actually a little bit quicker because you don't have to do that slurred string change in the up. So it makes it a little bit cleaner. Now what happens is you do the first note on an up bow, and then you go down, up, down, up, down, and then they see the two E's, you actually tie those together in an up bow. See
Okay,
that?
that's what I was messing up or
And
getting.
then you do it, you're back to your down, up, down, up, down. And then you slur the F with the E on an up bow. You see what I mean there? I'll show you. It's the best thing. It's over here. Where is it? Okay, so you're tying these together and playing it on an up bow, and hopefully doing a nice little roll on it there. And then when you get over here, you're slurring this F with this E on an up bow. See that? And then it's down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And then when you go back into it again, you're slurring this D with this E in the up bow. So it's like the pickup and the downbeat in the up bow.
Okay, thank you. And what is a roll?
A roll is an Irish ornament. It's 5 notes. In this case, the roll would be on an E. So what it looks like is this. See that? The note above. I use my third finger. It doesn't really matter what you use. The note again. The note below. And the note to finish. 5 notes. And it sounds like this. See that? Yum diddly yum. It's an Irish thing. They do it all the time. So in this tune, it sounds like this. See that? Very common Irish move. Anyways, you can play around with that stuff. I hope that answers your question. Anybody else have questions before we speed it up a little teeny tiny?
So Dan, the very first note is an up bow?
It can be. It
Okay.
depends on if you want to stretch out and do that Irish style bowing, you can. Otherwise, you're going to do your down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Because you can't go wrong with that. Okay? But some people might want to mess with it a little bit. Okay. I got told at the vet today that our cat is too fat. Oreo, the one that was born here. She's chonky. And I always said that she's such a long-haired cat, you wouldn't believe it. Like, she's flowing hair. And I always said she's all chicken and no feathers. Or, sorry, all feathers and no chicken. And I said that to the vet today, and she goes, there's some chicken. I don't know what to do about it. If she doesn't eat that much at home, I have a feeling she has another place that she goes to, like many cats do. I think because she's a very lovable cat, so I have a feeling that neighbors are feeding her. And Tibbs was getting chonky there for a while, and then we found out that our neighbor Shauna was giving him like 15 treats a day. Okay, a little quicker. Playing around with bowing a little. Okay, here we go. 1, 2, 3, go. Was that a stretch? With the speed? Okay, who had a lot of trouble with the speed? How about you, Lena? What stopped you? Because that's always what you gotta ask when you have trouble with speed.
The first part is actually okay. The second part I get tripped up. I don't know if it's anything in particular. The whole thing was a bit of a mess. The second part.
So nothing consistent?
I guess the just like the string crossing in the second part is what is making it hard, I think. But
Okay.
for some reason, the first part is okay. I feel like the first part just has like a natural flow and it's like in my fingers a bit more.
Yeah.
Second part, not so much.
There's a couple things. So you're right about the string crossing, because this string crossing in the first part, it's D to A string crossing, which is almost not even a string cross. It's just like a tiny little move. It's not a big deal. It's the easiest string cross there is. A to E is a hard one, as you guys know. We've worked on that, and because they have different planes of motion. So, well, one thing to remember when you're string crossing A to E is that, especially when you're going faster and end up using your hand, is that the A string is straight out and the E string is up towards the ceiling, or a drop. Okay, A is out, E is a drop. So it's what I call spread and scoop. Spread, scoop. See that? Scoop her up for the E there. Try to use just your fingers. And also just immobilize that right arm. That's going to help that. The other thing that might be getting in people's way is scales. So in this tune, you go yum deedle da da da, and then you do a scale up, right? And whenever you do scales, you got to be sure of starting points and ending points. So this particular scale starts on a C and goes up to an A. Okay? So it actually starts on the C. So it might help a little bit. Starting points of scales can really unlock, because once your finger starts scaling, it's pretty reliable. Any more questions before we try it again? Oh, how about you, Astrid? What happened to you when you tried to go fast? Tell me what happened first. Oh, you had it there.
Yeah, it's my bowing. I'm totally messed up from the very, very beginning. And it's way too fast for my thinking, I think, at this point. So I've been playing it slow enough too many times. So I need to
Don't
work.
think though, eh? I don't think I haven't thought in years. Like you can't think and play this music at the same time. There's no time. But with the bowing, I want you to remember two things with this very simple tune for bowing. You're either going down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, or you're going up, up for two notes. That's it. No other crazy bowing patterns are involved at all. It's either downy, uppy, or up, up after a long note, and that's it.
I'll try to think like that. Yeah, because
Might help.
it's the ups that trigger my brain, and I'm thinking I shouldn't be doing it.
Oh
It's
yeah.
always down, up, and so I think right away, I'm supposed to be doing up, and by the time I've got that, then the whole tune is gone.
In a way to, again, boil it down, because when the notes are flying around your helmet, you don't have time to work these things out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So one way to do it is, as you're looking at the music, if you see a string of eighth notes, it's downy uppy.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with that being said, try to start it on a down. So if you see a run of eighth notes there, and you're a little bit mixed up in the bar before, start that run of eighth notes on your down.
Okay, that's good. And that scale theory, I'm just thinking that's on an up, so that I'm starting to scale on an up, like a C sharp on the let's say the first bar, the second line.
Yeah.
That tells me, well, I've got to think something differently as well, because that's an up and then a down, because it's a scale. But I'm I'm just rethinking things.
Now the other thing is that now, and this might work for you because you play music on other instruments. This tune is in the key of D,
Yeah.
right? So that C sharp of the scale that starts the scale, that's actually kind of a pickup note for a D scale.
Right, right. Okay.
And pickup notes, like after a while, hopefully you get the instinct that pickup notes are always an up, always.
Okay. All right. That's good to
That help a
think.
little bit?
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to boil it down. Little things you can remember while the notes are flying, like, is all you can hope for. Little tiny things.
Okay. Thanks.
No problem. Okay, let's do it. Same thing, same speed. Okay. A one, a two, a 1, 2, 3, go. One more. A little bit more success. Yay. All right. So now the Silver Spear. I shouldn't say, I said that this tune is in D, the Drowsy Maggie, and it is not. The second part is in D. The first part is in E minor. Just wanted to be clear about that. The thing is that it has C sharp in the key signature, but that's just a mode, right? I don't remember which mode, but it's basically E minor with a C sharp. Now, the Silver Spear. And you guys are looking at Sandy's version in his book there, which is good. Great tune. It's a classic. And a very fancy way to kill somebody. The Silver Spear. The poor victim probably complimented on it just before he died. Nice spear! Now this is another case of up-ups. Okay, this is a great example, this tune, of that bowing pattern we're talking about. So I'm going to show you again. I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Oh, jeez, it got weird. Okay, here it is here. So basically, there's the long note, and that means that these two here are going to be in an up bow. Okay, there's the long note, these two in an up bow. There's the long note, these two in an up bow. And it's very predictable. It does it every time. Okay, 3 of them. And then these here, straight up, downy, uppy. In the second part, down, up, 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 down, up. You see how that has a pattern as well. Same pattern, except it's a little bit turned around, but same thing. Every time we're going down, up, down, down, up, down, every time. Okay, and in the first part, it's It's down, up, down, up, up, down. It's just a little bit different rhythm. But it's the same setup. It repeats it every time. Should we go slow? I think it would be good. Okay. Silver Spear. First go. Nice and easy. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Now, I'm just going to check in, see if anybody's having any problems at all with anything. Questions, queries, complaints? No? Okay, could we go a little faster maybe? A little bit? Okay, let's do it. I'm glad you said that, really. Work out better for everybody. So it's going to be like this. 1, 2, 3. Checking in. Still no problems? Awesome. Anything in the way of going a bit faster, do you think? I'm so hopeful, aren't I? Eternal hope. Let's do it a little faster, and then we'll put the set together. Kind of like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. One more. How did we get along at that tempo, ladies? All right? No? A few dings on your helmet there, Heather? No big deal. For you, it's an aspirational tempo. Okay? And if you got to go along good with it, it's your practicing tempo. So that is, just to let you know, what the tempo is. Ooh, 65! That is not bad. So that's what we just did for your reference. So for some people that'll be a challenge. For other people that'll be no problem. And then we'll see where we can get to with it next time. Now let's put the two tunes together. Same tempo. We won't go any faster than that. And let's do them 3 times each in the Irish style, and that way you'll have it on the recording to practice with. Yes, Brittany?
So for the silver spear, when you're playing it fast, it sounds like you're kind of playing 3 A's, like the.
Yep, that's a cut.
Okay, so do you still play the B and the A, or does it kind of blend together? I was kind of mixing it up.
Do I still play the
first bar, for example, in the first line?
Yeah.
Can you play the first bar?
Yeah. Okay, so that's still an up bow. It does, even though I'm doing a cut on the A, it still interrupts my bowing pattern the same way, so I still got to do an up. Does that work? Okay, good. Okay, 2 Irish tunes. Here we go. Drowsy Maggie followed by the Silver Spear 3 times each. A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, go! did everybody do? Anybody have anything to say about their experience doing that?
It was still a little fast for me, so I'm finding I'm on the notes that are the scales going up and down. I'm having more trouble with them than on the other, like the jumps from one string to another. So on the Drowsy Maggie, it's like on the second and the third line, those scales again on the bar twos, and on the Silver Spear, the scales that come down, the G, F, E, and D. It's funny. I don't know why, but I'm just slipping up on those.
So it could be starting note. That's
Yeah.
usually the culprit. A little misunderstanding of the starting note of the scale. Also, like I'm looking at the one in Silver Spear. I was going to say, yeah. So another thing that people do a lot with scales is they skip open strings.
They skip open strings.
Yeah.
Da, 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 da. So they skip the E. So what do you mean by skipping?
They just don't play it.
Oh,
It's like the most common thing in the world for some reason. I don't know why. It's the easy one. But watch out, you might be skipping the open string.
wow.
Okay, I kind of doubt it for you, but it could be a fact. I've seen it happen a lot, for some reason, and especially on the way down.
Okay.
Okay, but I would say it's probably starting note.
All right, I'll work on that. So that means in the Silver Spear, we've got like the starting note is the G, but then like the grace note that we kind of were talking about is the F sharp into the G. But
Okay.
yeah, okay.
So you're talking about where in the Silver Spear? Oh, you mean the scale down?
Yeah, the third
Yeah,
line and the second bar and the fourth bar.
Yeah, for sure. So it's the G, and then the other thing is, yeah, no, that's all straight scale. So in the last bar of the second line, for instance, the first scale starts on a G,
Yeah,
and then the next scale starts on a B.
yeah.
It does not involve the C there at all. Only on the way back up.
Okay, yeah.
These are little things I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Little
okay,
ways
little
to-
tricks. Okay,
Okay. Yeah.
that's great.
Anybody else have any comments about these tunes? No? Well, if you know what that means, we got to do it again. Straight up. Let's do her again. Astrid's going to watch her scales. You know, it's funny. I always find when I'm trying to work out tunes, like when me and my buddy Ross are working on the Fred Finn and Peter Horan tunes, and we're trying to suss out what is he doing here, what is he doing there. It's usually something simple like a straight scale down or a straight scale up when you think it's more complicated, but that's actually all it is. Or a simple arpeggiation. So always try to be boiling it down in your mind and thinking to yourself, this is probably easier than I'm thinking it is. Okay? One more time.
Dan,
Yes.
question.
Mhm.
Could we do it this time just a touch slower? I really struggled on that speed.
Yes, we will do it a touch slower. So I'm thinking kind of like. Would that work? I think that'll be comfy. Okay, let's do it. Oh, 1, 2. Oh, somebody say something? Just make sure everybody's muted. Yeah, no, we are. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it was me. 1, 2, 3, go. success, lots of success, minimum success. Whatever you can get, right? So, excuse me. So that was very good practice on all that stuff there tonight. The Earl of Dalhousie was all pretty well in the key of D, except for a little bit of E minor. So that's very good practice in the key of D. Next time, we'll work on those A tunes, the Hawk Hey Johnny Lad, and what was the other one, the High Road to Linton? Here, well, why don't we play that right now? We got a few more minutes. Was it the High Road to Linton, Brittany?
No, it was Jenny.
Oh, Jenny Dang. Jenny Dang, yeah, pull them out. Let's do them. That's right, Dang and a Weaver. Inexplicable. Yep. Yeah! Awesome, Elaine.
Did I have my,
You had your microphone on, and I was delighted to hear you because I never get to hear anybody anymore. Okay, so let's do 2 Hawk Hays and 3 Jenny Dangs. Okay? And I don't know what speed, maybe. 1, 2, 3, go! Here we go. One more. Medium? Okay, we'll start with that next week, okay? We'll put, and also look at the High Road to Linton for next week, because we were talking about string changing a lot today, and that's the ultimate string changing exercise, that tune, the second part of it there. So we're going to work on that, see if we can get the speed up, and that'll translate over to hopefully everything else we do. And then we'll do that after Jenny Dang in the set. So we'll do Hawk Hey Johnny Lad, Jenny Dang, High Road to Linton. And it's going to be sweet and awesome. Okay, so work on those. Also work on those 2 reels, because we're going to continue. We won't let up on them for a couple of weeks. We'll keep trying to get it stronger and a little bit faster before we move on to something else there too. Okay, is that a good plan? Okay, thanks a lot there, ladies. We'll see you next week.